Hey guys, I feel like I'm always doing this to y'all. Popping up with surprises. And yes, the baby girl is here. Baby Riley, which is her name, is here. So I'm trying to get her together. And let me tell y'all about this birth story. Let me cut the TV off. Okay, anyway. I had to cut the TV off really quick. I'm home by myself. It's just the girls. My husband and our son, they went out to have, daddy and son time. So I got the baby here. I am nursing, so she just finished eating, so she's going right back to sleep. That's all newborns do, eat and sleep. So if the camera is shaking, I'm sorry, because I am patting her. Okay. That's baby Riley. That's baby Riley. I'm trying to get her together. I was going to sit the camera up, but it's kind of hard because I am recovering, guys. I had a C-section, so, like, if I sit up, I don't want to be too uncomfortable, like, sitting up on a chair. But anyway, let me tell you about this. I really wanted to vlog my labor and delivery because, actually, we had a C-section scheduled for this upcoming week, this Friday on the 30th. However, this little girl, with 6 days postpartum, decided to make her entrance a little bit earlier than the 30th. So what ended up happening was I was in bed, I was asleep. My son was laying next to me. And then my husband had just got home from work, and I felt a big old gush, y'all. Gush of fluid. My water broke. And I couldn't understand what was going on. I'm like, wait, is that my water? And it was so much coming out. It was just gushing out. And I was like, oh my God, wait. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I was freaking out. So I'm calling my husband, and he was in the shower. I was like, babe, my water just broke. So he looked, he was like, oh, like, what the heck? Like, your water just broke. I just got home. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I ain't even getting no sleep. We got to go to the hospital. And so I couldn't move. We both were panicking. He's like, what should we do? I was like, call my mom, because my mom was supposed to get my son. So I was like, call my mom really quick, and because she's supposed to be getting my son for us, and so we could just get to the hospital. My mom's phone was going to voicemail, so I ended up having to call her boyfriend, and then I finally got to him to get to her. She was on her way. I was like, my water just broke. I went to the hospital. So then the contractions, when they hitting me, y'all, oh my God, it was so strong. And mind you, I have stairs I have to go down. So I had to go down the stairs into the car, and I had to wrap myself in the towel. I had no time to find pants. I was still leaking even as I stood up. It was just leaking out, coming out. I had no shoes. I couldn't find any shoes at that time, y'all. It was just so chaotic at that point. And we were just trying to get to the hospital, and the contractions were like very frequent. It was like every 4 minutes, but they were very strong. And so contraction was like hitting, kicking my butt. I was just like, get me to the hospital. And so we were trying to find my mom to meet up with her. Her phone still was going to voicemail, but she was kind of like, mind you, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. So she was still trying to like kind of wake up. And so she finally cut her phone on, and she came upstairs because she thought we were in the house. But we had already left. So she came in and thought we wasn't here, and we didn't leave the door open and everything. Like, it was just so much. She met us at the hospital. We get to the hospital. My husband sees like the security guard. He was like, give me a wheelchair. My wife is in labor. Hurry up. In the meantime, I'm in the car like, oh my God, I'm having a contraction. My husband's like, breathe through. And I'm like, I can't breathe. Yeah, it was so chaotic at that point. And so it was just so much going on. They ended up getting me here, got me upstairs, because I was literally in labor. And then I got upstairs to get registered. Excuse me. The girl asking me so many questions. I'm like, girl, just get me in this doggone freaking room. This baby about to come. My baby is breech, and she cannot come out head down because she's butt or feet first. So I know it's going to be a mercy C-section because we already had it scheduled for this upcoming week, and she decided to come a little bit early on her own, which I'm not mad, because I was tired of being pregnant anyways, So anywho, they get me to the back, they check me, they say, yeah, you definitely ruptured your membranes. And so they want to check out how much I dilated. I was like, but it hurts. Like, come on, man, these contractions. So she went and checked. She couldn't really feel nothing at that point, but she could see, like, I did rupture. And so then she went back in again, and she was like, okay, you're about 5 to 6 centimeters dilated. Mind you guys, let me remind you, the week prior, because my appointments are a week at this point in this time of the game, they kept saying that they don't think I'm doing anything, I'm not progressing, because I was having contractions a lot. But they were saying that, girl, you close, you high, that baby ain't coming, that baby is breached. Excuse me, say what? My water had broke. I was already 5 6 centimeters and my water broke. She was gonna come, but it felt her butt, so she was coming out butt first. And honestly, I saw some videos where you can actually push safely breech with a butt coming out versus the feet. But they didn't want to do the risks. There was too many risks at the end of the day, so they ended up getting everything ready. Called anesthesiologist, called a surgeon, getting an OR ready because we had an emergency C-section. It was just so much going on, it's happening so fast. They kept wanting to check my vitals, give me an IV. It was just so much going on at that time. I couldn't really process. I'm overwhelmed. I was even thinking about filming the video because it was just so much going on. I couldn't even focus on filming. And this is the second time this happened. Every time I say I'm going to record my labor and delivery, I just can't because it happened so fast. So I could give you guys pictures only, but that was it because it happened really fast. So anyways, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. We get into the OR. They took me back and took me and my husband back. They put me in the room, had him go out and change his clothes, put on the gown or whatever. And they just got me all gowned up. And because she was leaning sideways because of her body is, because she was breached, they had to tape my belly and basically walked me through it. Had to end up getting the spinal, which was kind of scary because I had epidural before, but the spinal it completely numbs you from your spine all the way up. It's not even just your lower waist. Everything is like completely numb because you're having surgery. And I already had some anxiousness about, sorry y'all, I don't know. I already had some anxiousness about going into labor because I was just like, I'm nervous about a C-section. I had a natural birth. I don't want to get cut. I don't want, this is a major surgery. So this is a life, life and death type of situation. I was, a little nervous and scared. But at the same time, I had no choice but to trust God. So once I got in the operating room, I was already crying. They already had a pediatrician nurse that's going to see about my daughter, there. My mom had already got my son at that point. My husband came in, and then it was just time to go. So they was numbing me. It was taking forever for me to feel numb. I was like, come on, when it's going to kick in? Because I'm scared. I didn't want to feel like, you hear like horror stories where people said they wasn't numb completely and they still felt like the cut. I don't want to feel none of that. So it was really quick. I did feel pressure when they pulled the baby out. And then I heard my baby crying. So that was like the most beautiful like experience ever when I heard her cry. Her crying was just like a relief, and I was just like, thank you God, we survived. But yet they were still sewing me together. I did lose a quite amount of blood, but it wasn't to the point where I needed a blood transfusion. By the grace of God, I thank God I didn't need a blood transfusion. But I just kept looking at my blood pressure. It kept dropping really low, so she just kept having to treat my blood pressure and putting more medicine to bring my blood pressure up because it kept dropping very low. And I was about to vomit because I did eat, and you're not supposed to eat before a surgery. But I ate like 2 hours prior, like a protein bar, and it was taking me a long time to digest it. So I was about to throw up, and they were giving me a bag to barf. But I never vomit. I'm happy I didn't. So the procedure was about an hour, some change. I couldn't really hold my daughter at that time. They sent us to recovery room to sit. They had me on Pitocin, and they had me on other drugs, so I don't have no clotting. They kept on having to squeeze on my belly, just to make sure no blood flowing. No blood clotting or whatever. There was heavy bleeding in the beginning, of course, because because they said that the first 2 or 3 hours is when you're at higher risk of hemorrhaging. But by the grace of God, I give God all the honor and praise for this, y'all. No hemorrhaging, no nothing. So I didn't really feel nothing. They had the compression things on my leg. I was just like kind of numb. So then we went from recovery to our room. It was pretty quick. It was a smaller hospital. So it was still like a controlled environment, not too hectic. But our first room was very small. So we had requested a bigger room, a bigger space because it was just too little in there. So that night we was able to change rooms. And that was pretty much basically it. It was an emergency C-section. She was born on September the 21st at 6:14 a.m. And my water broke at about 4:45. So she was born within those 2 hours. It was like this, quick, smooth, out, over with. So today is 6 days postpartum. So I did have her 6 days ago. She's almost a week old. We have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to check on baby Riley. But I just been really taking my recovery very slow and steady, because with my son, I was up and going, like I was ready to get up and go. But with her, it's just been a little bit different because I had a major surgery, so I'm a little bit more slow. I really feel like 45 to 40% of myself, but not 100%. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that, guys. That was actually her pediatrician calling, because I actually have an appointment for her, like I said, tomorrow for her first newborn appointment. And also my 3-year-old, he has an appointment tomorrow too, so both the kids are going to the doctor tomorrow. And on the midst of that, we got a hurricane that's supposed to be coming this Wednesday or Thursday or sometime this week. So we haven't prepared anything because we've been really home. So I have to start, I may do a Instacart order or something, get waters and toiletries that we may need in the event that the lights go out and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. That was my labor and delivery. There really much to say about it. It was quick. But I am gonna try my best to do more videos, and I really wanted to vlog this time, but God had other plans. You know, you can make a plan and then God does everything else in his own timing. She looks just like my son too, y'all. She is knocked out sleeping. So yeah, I'm enjoying mommy life again. And I'm definitely gonna do a video updating y'all how my son is taking it, because he's just been like not sure if he likes his sister yet, because he's been the only baby, so he's spoiled. And both my children are basically gonna be spoiled because mama just love her babies. So I'll keep you guys posted. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I can just do more story time. I feel like I'm missing things out of here, but I just want to give you guys the gist of my story, and that's about it for now. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.